Greetings. Hello, my name is Klaus Wittauer, and I'm with KW Selection, fine wines from Austria. And I try to bring a few or two Austrian wines to you today. I hope you got your little gift baskets from the Vienna Vintner. And there's two wines. Hopefully the white wine, you have it chilled and ready to go. This is the Grüner Veltliner from Weingut Steininger. And in the red wine, we have the Apethlon Rouge from Steindorfer. So two wines from Austria. Hopefully you also got this little information sheet about the two wines. It shows you a little bit about the description. Of course, I had a few glasses to drink before I wrote those. But both of the wines got some very good ratings from the wine enthusiast. And then here is a little bit information about Austria in general. I'm Klaus Wittauer, like I said, and KW Selection is my company, and I've been importing Austrian wines for 20 years now. I always like to refer to Austrian wines as unique and exceptional. I mean, we are very small, only 1% of the world wine production comes from Austria, so it's a tiny little part, but I always say it's the good part. We make wines with true character and personality. And of course, when so small, you have to focus a little bit more on the Qualitätswein and quality wines. And I will get into a little bit more in my presentation here. Of course, paired with food, this is really where Austrian wines shine. So in your glass now, you should open up this Grüner Veltliner and pour yourself a little bit and start enjoying and drinking this Grüner Veltliner, which I'll tell you a little bit more about this massive, beautiful grape from Austria. But I always start out saying that there are no kangaroos in Austria. We are not talking about Australia. We are talking about Austria. So these are wines from Austria. And another part, people always refer to Austria a little bit from the sound of music. The hills are alive. So that's why I put this picture here with the beautiful rolling hills of Styria. So here we go. Oops, my presentation went away here. So here we go further, going into where we located. I always like to refer to Austria as east of Paris because of our German neighbors, people, and our language. Since we are speaking German in Austria, people associate Austrian wines many times with German wines, but we are quite different, which hopefully you can see in this wine. Already we are in the same latitude as Burgundy, and in the United States it would be Oregon and Washington or Long Island. So much further south from Germany and just a little bit north of Italy. On the eastern side of Austria, this is where you find the vineyards because the rest of the country has mountains. But there we have like the tension of the opposites. We have very cool nights and we have very beautiful, warm, sunny days with the Hungarian Pannonian climate bringing a lot of hot air, and also the Mediterranean climate close by, bringing a lot of warm air into Austria and ripen the grape. And we have then the cool air from the north and the west, bringing us some nice acidity and freshness to the wines. The monks, of course, are a big part of our wine history, and we are very much in organic wine growing in Austria with using the father of biodynamic and organic farming, Rudolf Steiner, being Austrian in 1924. It kind of all started with this organic approach, and now we are more and more going into sustainable agriculture, which also is much more important for our next generation to come to keep those vineyards alive. Vienna is in the center, and it's the only capital city in the world which actually has vineyards within the city. Also, Austria has one of the strictest wine laws in the world. Each of our wines, Qualitätswein, come with this Austrian banderole, which is a seal, and all the wines are really controlled and analyzed in a lab and by a blind panel to make sure what's on the label is also in the bottle. First wine, we are in the Kamptal. This is about an hour northwest of Vienna in a beautiful village of Langenlois. Here you see the hills and the terraces of the Heiligenstein in the Langenlois village. And Grüner Veltliner is the grape. This is Austria's flagship. About 30% of our vineyards are planted with Grüner Veltliner. And most people associate us with Riesling, but only 4% of our grapes grown in Austria are actually Riesling grapes. Now, I want to add that some of the best Rieslings in the world, I think, do come from Austria, but they're all dry. So very dry wines. Grüner Veltliner, mother grape is the Traminer, which is a mother grape of many European grapes. It was planted post-World War II very heavily in Austria because it does very well in this loose, sandy soil. And it makes a very light, fresh, easy, crisp white wine, which we sometimes like to bottle in the liter bottle and makes a nice aromatic, flavorful wine. But then also Grüner Veltliner can make a full-bodied, rich white wine in this reserve category, like this Loisium. This is the museum, and that's in the middle of the label. You see on the picture this Loisium Wine Museum from Stephen Hull, which was built in 2003. This label actually is the first drawing in 2001 when Stephen Hull visited the winery, and after a few bottles of Grüner Veltliner, he put this concept on a paper napkin. And this actually is the cellars, and he reflected the cellars onto the windows of this wine museum, which he said it has to come out of the earth and people have to see it from far away. And then he actually said, let's put a hotel right in the middle of the vineyard. So talking a little bit about this wine, I hope you had a chance to taste it. Full-bodied wine, has some nice tropical fruit. There's some almost mango and pineapple, green apple, a little citrus. And then on the finish, it has almost a little white pepper, a little spice. Great wine with a lot of types of food, from chicken, of course, Austria's main dish is Wiener Schnitzel, so anything fried, from fried chicken to fried, the Wiener Schnitzel is veal or pork. Asian food, vegetables, all go extremely, extremely well with Grüner Veltliner. Here we have the family, Brigitte and Karl Steininger, with their 3 daughters, Eva, Anna, and Lisa, and their son-in-law, Peter. And Eva and Peter actually now kind of very much in charge of the winery. And here we're in the middle of the vineyard with the wine museum coming out. And this is the hotel right behind it, the Loisium Hotel. And when you sit inside of the lobby and look outside, there's a swimming pool and again, the museum. And in the middle of the vineyard, the restaurant, breakfast you have right here, the wine spa or spa area over here on this side, and the rooms on top, you're kind of floating onto the vineyards. So hopefully when we get to travel again and you make a trip to Austria, try to make a stop and come to Langenlois and spend a few days at the Loisium and drink a little bit more of this delicious Grüner Veltliner. Now we need to go to red wine. The second wine, pour it in your glass. I hope you're ready for it. We do make red wine in Austria. Yes, we are a white wine country, but we are producing 14 red grapes in the Qualitätswein, Zweigelt and Blaufränkisch, 2 Austrian grapes on the forefront here. And we are in Burgenland. So most of the red wine regions are of Austria, more on the eastern side of Vienna. Wien is Vienna, and about an hour and a half southeast of Vienna, you come to this lake, Neusiedlersee. And this is where we are located here with this winery in the village of Apetlohn. There's the lake, and close to the lake, you make some of the best dessert wines in the world. But also, this is one of the warmest regions of Austria and perfect for red wines. Completely different than the Kamptal. We're very flat, Pannonian climate. The Pannonian flatland comes in, and there we have Roland Steindorfer presenting to us the Apethlon Rouge. Apethlon is the village, so it's a village wine. And Rouge, of course, we use a French name, so we can charge a little bit more for this wine. It's a cuvée. Cuvée means blend. And we're actually using the 3 traditional Austrian grapes in this wine, with Blaufränkisch being 40% and then 30% each of the Zweigelt and the St. Laurent grape. It has a beautiful bouquet of the berries and the fruit, black pepper, a little spice, a little earthy, good acidity, so it's a great food wine, and a nice medium-bodied, easy, pleasant drinking wine. Blaufränkisch, again, the main grape, red grape of Austria, Hungary, K. Francos, goes back to the 18th century and actually dates further back to the Charlemagne time. St. Laurent in the Pinot family is the other grape, and then Zweigelt actually was a cross of the 2 grapes, the Blaufränkisch and the St. Laurent is the 3rd grape in this delicious red. So here I am drinking some of the Steindorfer wines at the Vienna Wine Fair with Ernst and Roland, father and son winemaking team, kind of a boutique winery in Austria, very small production. And when it comes to Austrian wine, food and wine is what it's all about. From Wiener Schnitzel, any kind of fried food, to sushi, I can find you a great Austrian wine to match these things anytime. And I want to say thank you to you for giving me the time to present those wines to you, and to Vienna Vintner for bringing the wines to you. And if you're looking for any more wines, I'm sure Victor will be happy to help you out. And thank you, and see you